Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about mounts, and more specifically we're going to talk about the 54 mounts of Midnight and where to find them. Yes, this is going to be a long video. Basically 54 mount guides. Some are easier, some are harder. I've done shorts on some of them, so this is just going to be kind of a all-encompassing video talking about all the new mounts in the Midnight expansion. But before we jump into that, guys, I do want to give a massive thank you to the sponsor of this video, and that is Boot.dev. This video is sponsored by Boot.dev. If you've ever thought about learning to code but didn't want to fall into the endless tutorial trap, this is a very different approach. Boot.dev is built around learning by doing. You'll learn backend development in Python, SQL, and Go by writing real code and building real projects, not just watching someone else do it. It's designed to take you from beginner all the way up to the kind of skills you'll actually need in a developer role. One of the big reasons that people quit learning to code is boredom, and Boot.dev leans hard into solving that. The entire platform is structured like a game. You'll earn XP, level up, unlock achievements, complete quests, and fight bosses as you progress. It gives you a clear sense of momentum instead of feeling like you're stuck on chapter 3 forever. All the content is free to read and watch, and every course has a free interactive demo, and there's a 30-day, no questions asked refund if you decide to upgrade. If this sounds interesting to you, scan the QR code on screen or use the discount code MrGM, and that will give you 25% off your first year on the annual plan. And thanks again to Boot.dev for sponsoring this video. Right, so yes, 54 mounts have been added in the Midnight expansion. There are tons of like unused recolors and kind of test mounts and things like that that they were adding during beta and alpha, but the final number seems to be around about 54. Hopefully I haven't missed any here. I just went through the data table, compared like 1127 to 1201, and this is kind of where we ended up. So I've kind of semi-grouped these into like reputation and drops and treasures and things like that. So yeah, let's jump into it. We have 54 mounts to look at. Firstly, starting with some Renown and Reputation mounts. So the Crimson Silvermoon Hawkstrider is from the Silvermoon Court Renown at level 17. This comes from Keris Fairdawn in the Eversong Woods and will cost you 6,000 Voidlight Marl. Also for the Silvermoon Court, we have the Fiery Dragonhawk. This comes at Renown level 19 from the same vendor and will cost you 8,000 Voidlight Marl. For the Armani Tribe, we have the Armani Blessed Bear. This comes at Renown level 17 and is from Magovu in Zulaman for 6,000 Voidlight Marl. And also for the Armani Tribe at level 19, we have the Armani Windcaller mount. This is also from the same vendor and will cost 8,000 Voidlight Marl. For the Harandar Renown, the Harati at Renown 16, we have the Fierce Grimlinks mount. This is a ground mount. This comes from Naynar in Harandar for 6,000 Voidlight Marl. The other mount on this Renown is the Cerulean Spore Glider. This comes at Renown 19 and will set you back 8,000 Voidlight Marl. For the Singularity, which is the Renown of the Voidstorm, we have the Ravenous Shredclaw at Renown 17. This comes from Void Researcher Momanda in the Voidstorm and will set you back 6,000 Voidlight Marl. The other mount for the Singularity is at Renown 19, and this is the Voidbound Stormray. This is 8,000 Voidlight Marl. For the Slayer's Duelam, which is the PvP reputation you might already be farming out, at Exalted you can purchase the Prowling Shredclaw. This is from Thraxadar in Voidstorm and will set you back 6,000 Voidlight Marl. And we also have the Frenzied Shredclaw, which is also from Exalted with the reputation and will also cost you 6,000 Marl. This reputation also has a Paragon mount. This is the Dusk Brute Harrower. This comes from the Paragon chest for the Slayer's Duelam. Not too sure on the drop rate here. Hopefully it's not too bad, but we are getting a Paragon mount in Midnight. Moving on to rare creatures. So we have the Cerulean Hawkstrider. This comes from any rare in the Eversong Woods, as well as the Cobalt Dragonhawk. This also comes from the Eversong Woods rares. We have the Witherbark Pango. This comes from rare creatures in Zulaman, and the Armani Sharp Talon also comes from rare creatures in Zulaman. The Rootstalker Grimlinks comes from rare creatures in the Harandar zone, as well as the Vibrant Petalwing. This also comes from rare creatures in Harandar. For Voidstorm, we have the Augmented Stormray. This comes from rare creatures in the zone, as well as the Sanguine Harrower, also coming from rare creatures in Voidstorm. Another rare mount is the Echo of Al-Sharan. This is maybe how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. This actually drops from the creature of the same name, so this is actually a little bit more full-on than some of the others. So basically, once you've completed the Legend of the Al-Sharan storyline in Harrandar, mobs in Harrandar will start dropping mysterious sky shards, and you get a lot of these. Once you've completed that quest, you just seem to get them from like pretty much everything. You do need 500 of these, and you do hand them in to Curie in Harrandar. I'll put all the coordinates you need to start the quest line and where Curie is in Harrandar, but essentially, yeah, you need to get 500 of these. It's going to take a little bit of time, but yeah, you do get them quite often, I find. Moving on into world event mounts, we have the Umbral Dragonhawk. This comes from the achievement Life of the Party. So this is to reach the maximum reputation with each of the Silvermoon Court factions in the Eversong Woods. So this is the Blood Knights, the Magisters, the Fast Riders, and Shades of the Row. This is related to the Sathril Soiree event, where you do pick one of the reputations per week to represent and to gain reputation for. You've probably already done this already, but if you're not sure on it, I do have a video covering that event. For the Abundance event, we have a couple of mounts. We have the Armani Sunfeather mount. This is from Chell the Chip and will cost you 1600 unalloyed abundance, as well as the Blessed Armani Burrower from Chell the Chip once again, and costing 1600 unalloyed abundance. For the Stormarian Assault, we have the Contained Stormarian Defender. This drops from the Victorious Stormarian Cache. I believe you can get 2 of these per week per character. This is from the Stormarian Assault event in Voidstorm. This mount seems pretty high drop rate. I've seen quite a lot of people getting this mount already. A very cool looking mount from the Stormarian Assault there. You just have to complete the event and you get the cash. From the Prey feature, we have 3 different mounts. We have the Prey Seeker's Hubris. This comes from the Prey Seeker's Journey at level 5 and is purchased from Construct Valnor in Silvermoon City for 2,000 Remnants of Anguish. We also have the Prey Seeker's Wrath, which comes from the Prey Seeker's Journey at level 10. This is from the same vendor and will cost you 2,550 Remnants of Anguish. Also for Prey, we have the Prey Seeker's Nightmare. This is from the achievement Prey Nightmare mode. This is to defeat all of the targets in Nightmare difficulty in Prey. Nightmare difficulty has not been unlocked as of the recording of this, but it will be soon. And you basically just have to kill all of the different targets to receive this mount. We also have some mounts from the Moth Catching in Harrandar. We have the Vivid Colossurus. This comes from the Moth Keeper in Harrandar. This mount was obtained by collecting moths in the zone. This is going to cost you 10 Luminous Dust, which does come from the moths. However, to unlock this mount, you do need to collect 50 moths in total in the zone. We also have the Elder Glowmite. This is from the same vendor and will cost 10 Luminous Dust, but will only be obtainable once you've collected 120 moths in the zone. That is all of the moths in Harrandar. You could track all of these on handy notes, but they do have a renown requirement to start spawning. Next up, let's talk about a couple of mounts from treasures. So we have the Ruddy Spore Glider. This is from the Peculiar Cauldron in Harrandar. So to open this cauldron, you need 150 crystallized resin fragments. Now these come from the water in Harrandar on this sort of river here on the map. I found that the best way to do this is to turn outline mode on and turn liquid detail down and fly pretty high up. You'll be able to see them quite easily in the water there. Kind of swoop down, pick them up, and you need to pick up 150 in total. Each one drops around about 3 to 7 in total as well, so it doesn't take too long. Once you've got 150 of those, you can go and open the Peculiar Cauldron in Harrandar and get the Ruddy Spore Glider mount. Another mount in Harrandar is the Untainted Grove Crawler. This is from the Spore Spawned Cache. So for this one, you need to interact with the Fungal Mallet in the Fungara village. This will give you the Fungal Mallet buff. Once you've got that buff, you want to go to the Mycellium Gong and click that, and that will make the treasure appear. All of the coordinates for this will be in the description as well, as for any other mount as well that needs kind of locations and things like that. Speaking of easy mounts, we have the Insatiable Shredclaw. This is from a treasure in Voidstorm called the Final Clutch of Prodaxis. For this one, you want to head to the cave here on the map. Once you go inside the cave, you'll notice a couple of rings kind of on the floor. All you got to do here is just avoid them and make it to the treasure. Once you get to the treasure, you could just open the treasure, and inside that is the Insatiable Shredclaw mount. A very, very easy mount to obtain. Moving over to Zulaman here, we have the Ancestral War Bear. This is from the Honored Warriors Cache. So for this one, you need to head to the Honored Warriors Cache in Zulaman in this location here. Once you've interacted with it, this will spawn different urns around the zone in these locations. I'll put all the coordinates down below, of course. Now, what you're going to do here is head to the zone and defeat the mini-boss inside it. This will drop different items like the Bear Tooth, the Lynx Claw, the Dragonhawk Feather, the Eagle Talon, and items like that. And once you've got all 4 of these items, you can head back to the Honored Warriors cache and open it to receive your Ancestral War Bear mount. And finally, for treasures, we have the hardest one, or the one that takes the longest. And this is the Hexed Vile Feather Eagle. This comes from the Abandoned Ritual Skull. So for this one, you need to farm 1,000 Vile Essences. Now, these drop from different NPCs in this area here, and is not a high drop rate. This is a very, very long one. The best thing to do here is probably just do it in a party. Just kind of kill everything in that area for a couple of hours, honestly, to get 1,000 of these Vile Essences. Once you've got enough of them, you can open the treasure, and this will give you the Hexed Vile Feather Eagle, which is probably one of my favorite mounts of the Midnight expansion, honestly. Moving on into some achievement mounts here with the Ivory Grimlinks. This is from just unlocking the Haranir allied race. To do this, all you got to do is complete the Harandar storyline, which is very easy. We also have the Crimson Dragonhawk. This is from the Midnight Glyph Hunter achievement. This is to collect all the skywriting glyphs in all of the Midnight zones, so you might have seen these while you're flying around. Simply just fly through all of those, collect them on all the zones, and you'll get the Crimson Dragonhawk. For the Brilliant Petal Wing mount, you need to complete the achievement Light Up the Night. This is to basically just complete all of the Midnight Zone meta achievements, so each one of the 4 zones of Midnight has a meta achievement, and once you complete all of those, you'll get the Brilliant Petal Wing. For the Vivacious Colossurus, we need to get all of the treasures of Harandar. So this is pretty easy to do. Just stick on handy notes here and just fly around and collect all of the treasures. Now, the one with the Ruddy Spore Glider is included in this list, so it might take a little bit longer, but you do get a mount for collecting all of the treasures in Harandar. For the Lab-Grown Storm Ray, this is from the achievement Staring into the Void. This is to fully unlock the research console in Voidstorm, so you might have already seen this already. This is unlocked at Renown 2, and it's basically a talent tree that gives you buffs. This will take several weeks of farming, as you do only get a couple of the charges per week, but once you have unlocked that tree fully, you will get the Lab-Grown Storm Ray. Our final achievement mount is the Tembrous Harrower. This comes from Glory of the Midnight Raider achievement, so this is the Glory achievement for all 3 of the raids of Season 1 of Midnight. Of course, we've had Glory achievements in the past. It's just to do certain things on certain bosses, and this does cover all 3 of the raids. Moving into Delves, we have a couple of mounts here with the Silvermoon's Arcane Defender. This comes from the Delver's Journey at level 5. This will be available in Season 1, and it's from Telemancer Astralandis in Silvermoon City and will cost you 10 Marl. We also have the Elven Arcane Guardian. This is from Nelidia Rivergleam in the Delver's headquarters. This is going to cost you 10,000 Undercoin. So yeah, this is going to take a while to get, but no special requirement here. You just have to gain 10,000 Undercoin. You can also get the Giganto Manis. This is from the Glory of the Midnight Delver achievement. This is, of course, the kind of meta achievement of Midnight Delves. For this one, you have to complete all of the Delve stories in all of the Delves. You have to find all of the sturdy treasures inside these Delves. You have to collect all the curios for your new companion, Valera, and you need to defeat the Nemesis boss, which will be available in Season 1. Now, some of these achievements won't be completable for a little bit because there is some Delves that are locked behind time, but yeah, you can do most of these right now to start building up for your Giganto Manis mount. Speaking of the Nemesis, we have the Nemesis mount. This is the Arcano Void Construct. This is from the achievement Let Me Solo Him Naleus. This is to defeat the Nemesis boss of Season 1. This will be available at the start of Season 1, hopefully. And yeah, you just got to defeat him, and this will give you this very cool looking Void Construct mount. Moving into dungeons and raids, we have the Spectral Hawkstrider. This drops from the Restless Heart in the Windrunner Spire on Mythic difficulty. We also have the Lucent Hawkstrider from Degenterus in the Magister's Terrace on Mythic difficulty. For Keystone Master, we have the Calamitous Carrion mount. This is to attain at least a rating of 2000 during Midnight Season 1. And we have the Convalescent Carrion from Keystone Legend, which is to obtain a rating of 3000 or more in Midnight Season 1. From the raid, we actually have the Ashes of Balaren. This is from the Midnight Fools boss, which is the final boss of the March of Quel'Danas raid on Mythic difficulty. This is a very, very cool mount. A sort of a void and Fire Phoenix. It is awesome. For PvP, we have the Vicious mounts. We have the Vicious Snap Lizard for the Alliance in the blue variant, and the Vicious Snap Lizard for the Horde in red. This is the Vicious mount for Midnight Season 1. The Gladiator mount for Season 1 of Midnight is the Galactic Gladiator's Gordrake. This is, yeah, the Gladiator mount for Season 1. It is amazing looking. I don't know why PvP is always complaining about getting nothing nice, because this mount is awesome. I'm never going to get it, but yeah, the Galactic Gladiator's Gordrake is the Midnight Season 1 mount. And the final two mounts we can't really categorize, I guess. We have the Nether Warped Drake. This is from Voidstorm Fishing. So this is actually fished up from oceanic vortexes in Voidstorm, or in this kind of blood pool near the dungeon as well. Basically, you just want to fish forever. This is going to take a while to fish up. You basically fish up an egg, which does take 7 days to hatch, and once it does hatch, you do get the Nether Swept Drake, which is just kind of a basic Nether Drake model. This has a pretty interesting backstory where it used to be a mount from like Burning Crusade that was never used and is finally come into the game in Midnight. But basically, yeah, just fishing in Voidstorm for a very long time will give you this Nether Drake. And the final mount on our list is a Relinquished Scarlet Charger. This is from the quest Relinquished Relics. Most of you probably already have this because it is just a part of the questing during the leveling on the Arator's Journey section. So yeah, that is our final mount, and that is it, guys. That is the 54 mounts available in the Midnight expansion. Let me know in the comments your thoughts of the mounts in this expansion. I really like a lot of them. It is nice to see some new models in there. PvP obviously eating good once again, and obviously that mythic mount is just phenomenal. I can't wait to get it in patch 15. But guys, thank you very much for watching. If you did like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And also I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft Midnight Launch Season 1, 12:05 PTR soon as well, you can check me out at twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.